This is the key for smoother animations in DaVinci Resolve or in any software pretty much. There's a few different ways of doing these or animating things in Resolve. In this case, I'm showing you right now, I'm doing it in the edit page. If you click here after you add the keyframes, this is not gonna show up if you don't have any keyframes. Okay, after you click these, you will see these 2 points and you can actually right click after you select these and then add the ease in and ease out, which are basically the key points or the key things that you need to do if you want to make your animation smoother. Now that looks a little bit alright, but it's better if you use curves. In this case here in the edit page, it's basically the same as using splines in Fusion. Now let me just show you here, if you select both of these, sometimes in the edit page, it only applies it to one. So you have to go and right click here and then ease this out. And then you can adjust these curves and then add sort of like a little bit of like whatever type of animation you want to do. You see here, it looks a lot smoother than if you just had these as a straight line like that. It's a little bit of a different, and it all really depends on the feel that you're going for. If you're doing YouTube videos or commercials or whatever, you might want to have like a little more punchy zoom, then this looks a little bit better and it's a little bit smoother. So that is basically the key. Let me just show you in Fusion so you can see the difference. So I'm gonna open this Fusion composition, which has a few things that I've already created. It's basically a little bit of a text animation. We have this little text animation here, which is, I'm not gonna show you all the keyframes, but I use a follower node here, which is a little bit complicated. Now the main difference here is that if we select both of these, there's also a little positioning movement here with the keyframes. Now there's one thing that I want to show you. If you see here this spline with these two selected, you will see that they are all straight like that. So basically they are linear transitions or linear animations. If we look at the other one, and let me put it on screen, you will notice that there's a little bit of a change in the movement. Now I will show you both of them in screen in a second. If we select both of these, you will notice that there's the curves, but there's also a little bit of a difference here with the ease in and ease out. By default, it's gonna be set up to 33, but you can always play around with that later. So let me just set it up to default for now so that you can see both of them are the same. And then I'm gonna ease them out like that. Okay, so I'm gonna put two screens right now, and this one is this first text, and on the right screen we have the one that we're gonna smoothen out or make it a little bit smoother. Now we play these back, they're basically the same. This spline has all the straight linear lines. We can fit it in the screen right here so we can see it better. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna select these two here, and selecting both, we can fit them to screen so we can see them again. And here, what we can do is press Ctrl A if you already know that you want to select all of them. If you don't, if you only want to do a specific part, then you have to select only that specific line, obviously. Okay, here we have all of these selected. If we press F and we play back, let me take the controls out of here for a second so that we can see the animation only and not the paths. Now, if we play both of them, it looks a little bit better on the right one. It's a little bit smoother, but since it's still on default, there's a few more things that we can add, that we can do so that the thing looks a little bit better and smoother. Now, by default, if you select everything, it's gonna be like these when you open the spline tool. If you press T, you will open the ease in and ease out options. And that is one of the things that will play a key role when you wanna make a smooth animation. If you move these ease in and the ease out, basically it's gonna add more curve to the curves that you have. A little bit more of a pronunciated curve. There it goes. So that is pretty much how you can do it. Now there's another last thing that I always say when you're working in Fusion is the motion blur. That is one of the things that plays and adds a little bit of like spice or je ne sais quoi in your animations. So if you want to add motion blur to your animations, you go here to settings and then add a little bit of a motion blur. If you want to decrease the amount, just simply lower the shutter angle, and you can increase the quality if you want it to look better. And then that is pretty much it. And now we can preview these. Now they both look similar again, but it's the little subtle touches that play the key role when you're animating. So basically that is how you can make a smooth animation using the edit page and also the fusion page. I prefer to use fusion when working with text or shapes or any type of graphics that I want to animate. And that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed and that you learned something new and useful that you can use for your future projects. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video here in SUALVI. Bye.